Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of my physical TBR. That's right. Every single book that I have on these massive shelves that is unread, I'm going to be showing you guys. I asked you in a previous video, I can't remember what, it might have been a vlog, if you wanted to see every single book on my physical TBR so you guys could have more input on what I prioritize and what I'm going to be reading for the latter half of the year. And you said you wanted it, so here it is. I live to serve. But before we get into the tour, I do want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Dossier. Y'all know I talk about Dossier all the time. I absolutely love their perfumes that are inspired by luxury fragrances, but I have something even more exciting to tell you about today, and that is Dossier Originals. I love Dossier's original perfumes, and they had a speakeasy collection that just came out last week. I have a super fun one to show you guys. The one that I have for you is Golden Rum and Amber. It's the warmth of rum with sweet and ambery facets wrapped in mellow vanilla and candied fruits. Oh my God, that sounds so good. Let's give it a sniff. And of course, it's in their signature cute little packaging. Oh my God, that smells so good. Wow. It is so summery. It reminds me of those nights on vacation where everybody comes in from the beach and like all the girls are trying to take showers at one time, and then we all emerge ready to go to dinner, and it just smells like warm and nostalgic and beachy and summery. Oh my God, there's that little bit of like musk in there. I usually don't like a super sweet, fruity, like stereotypically feminine smelling perfume, and this is literally perfect for me. It actually smells really similar to Nirvana Bourbon, which used to be my favorite scent of all time, but it got discontinued like 5 or 6 years ago. I think this is my new signature scent. I literally just discovered it filming this ad read. I promise this was not planned at all. I just am in love with this fragrance. And they have a ton of other like drink inspired scents in their speakeasy collection. It is so cute. Their other scents are fresh margarita and lime, smoky mezcal and cucumber, bubbly spritz and bitters, and then of course the golden rum and amber that I just showed you guys. They're all super summery and fresh, and of course Dossier perfumes, I have always loved them. They always last super long on my clothes and they never irritate my skin. They're ethically made and they have that adorable glass bottle packaging that is reusable. I just love everything about Dossier. So I'm going to link them down below and I will put my code down there as well. Go get you some Dossier Originals, get some money off with my code, and happy shopping, happy smelling good for the summer. Thank you so much to Dossier for sponsoring this video. Now let's go ahead and get into the tour. All right, so before I get into my physical TBR tour, I'm just going to show you an overview of my bookshelves. When I moved into this apartment and set up my bookshelves, I had a whole set up my library with me tour video. I will link it above and below if you're interested, because I'm not going to be going over my TBR cart, my shelf that is over here, and I'm not going to be going over these 3 shelves. So these 3 shelves all have read books on them. I've read all these books. I also have video games, puzzles, etc. And then my favorites are at the top. That is not going to be what's being toured in this video. We are going to be focusing on these 2 shelves right here, and these are my TBR shelves. I organize all my books pretty much by genre and like YA versus adult. So my TBR shelves are organized that way as well. And I have some of them double stacked. So let's just start up here. This is my YA TBR shelf. I'm going to go through every single book, starting with this one book that I have on display because y'all know I've been obsessed with the Fear Street books. This is the big bind up that came out, I guess, to promote the movie on Netflix. It's the I think first Fear Street books that were ever published. So I have that in the front here. And then behind that, I have 2 Angie Thomas books. I really loved The Hate You Give, so I have her 2 other ones right here. I have a Mary H.K. Choi permanent record. This one is a Book of the Month copy, I believe, and it's set in Austin. That's why I picked it up. I have Undead Girl Gang back here by Lily Anderson, and I believe this was a rec from my friend Jess at Books Past Bedtime, which she's now posting videos again, so I will link her channel down below. I love her so much. You'll have to go subscribe. I have a Courtney Summers book, the first Spy Family book. This isn't really YA, I don't know, but it's manga and I didn't know where to put it, so I put it here. I have Influence by Sarah Shepard and Lilia Buckingham. This is a YA thriller. Prep by Curtis Sittenfeld. Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis, which I'm really excited for that one. And then I'll move these double stacked ones. So behind that we have Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls, 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson, which I've heard is really boring. None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marney. Foul is Fair by Hannah Capin. Natasha Preston, we're not going to talk about it. Lock the Doors by Vincent Ralph, which I really want to prioritize. Then moving over here to the end of my YA shelf, I have a little Ariel Trimway Lego set that I did. I rode this in Palm Springs on my bachelorette trip, so had to get a little souvenir. But moving down the line, we have The Astonishing Color of After, Kill the Boy Band, which I also really want to read. Blackout, White Smoke, Emergency Contact, also by Mary H.K. Choi, and an A.S. King over here, Ask the Passengers. So those are all of the YA books that I have on my physical TBR right now. Let's go ahead and move down onto this shelf. This one is kind of a catch-all shelf, an in-between shelf. It's mostly contemporaries or magical realism with a couple cozy mysteries and like family dramas mixed in. We'll just start on this side. I have this entire Thursday Murder Club series that's been released. I really want to read this in the fall time. I just did not get to it last fall, and I'm such a seasonal reader that I'm saving it for this coming fall. I have We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and this is a family drama. The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. I am not quite sure what this is about, but I just put it here because it seemed like it fits. I have Fates and Furies by Lauren Croft. The Mothers by Britt Bennett. Oh my gosh, I really want to read this one. This one is a historical. I think I have a couple historicals mixed in here. I have The Death of Vivek Oji, which I planned for a reading vlog a long time ago that got scrapped. Y'all, I tried to film a reading vlog where I was reading books that were gonna make me cry, and it just got so depressing I could not post it on the internet. So we'll get to this one eventually though. I have The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. And then I have this cute little book candle that my mom gave me. It smells like the pages of books. I've yet to burn it because I just love it so much, but obviously I need to burn it at some point. I have Evie Drake Starts Over, How Lucky, Sex and Vanity by Kevin Kwan. Really excited for that one. And back here I have A Little Hope by Ethan Joella. And then I have some double stacked in front here. Obviously, the one that I have on display is The Winners, the 3rd book in the Beartown trilogy by Frederick Bachman. I love the first 2 books. I gave them both 5 stars. Again, this is just super wintry, so I'm waiting for the winter to read this one. Behind that, I have Less is Lost and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Honestly, both of these were just encouraged by like what is popular. I don't know if I will get to them. They're not high priority. And then back here, I have Queenie, The Guncle, which I really want to read that one. Super summary. Maybe I should move that one forward. The Unraveling of Cassidy Holmes, which I've heard is similar to Daisy Jones. The Knockout Queen, The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. And then on the end, I have a couple historicals, Dear Mrs. Bird and The Nightingale. And in front of those, I'm keeping 2 that I am prioritizing, The School for Good Mothers and The Adult by Bronwyn Fisher. So on the shelf below that, I kind of have the same vibe of just like contemporary, magical realism, some historical, but those were all hardbacks. And down here, we have all paperbacks. Let me move this candle back. So down here on this level, we have another little cute little Lego reading nook. It's very detailed and I'm obsessed with it. And then I have a little Polaroid of me and Cam. But starting over on this side, we have the 22 Murders of Madison May, which is a mystery self-care by Lee Stein, a couple Matt Haig's. This one was a random short story collection that I found at Half Price Books. I really want to read it soon. Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, which I really want to read that duology. Less, the first book that goes with Less is Lost. Another Matt Haig, which now that I'm seeing this, it's kind of annoying that it's not right next to these. Another A.S. King, and Abby Waxman, which I used to really like her. I'm not sure why I haven't read this new release yet. The Authenticity Project, Sweet Bitter. These three are all vintage Lisa Jewell contemporaries. I'm so excited to get to those. I have The Library of Lost Things, a Karen White mystery, The Dinner, an Agatha Christie, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and The Secret History, which are both classics. And then I have my Jane Austen collection over here, which are obviously classics as well. And steadily moving down from there, here is my nonfiction shelf. And then I have some other ones that kind of didn't go anywhere over here on the side under the Polaroid of me and my best friend. But starting over here, I have So You've Been Publicly Shamed, In an Unspoken Voice, skipping this one, The Mindful Therapist and Group. So these four I want to read for my practice. Know My Name and Paris are for my channel. So I definitely need to do some reorganizing and put those in a different section because I want to read those for y'all. These though are for my practice. I also have some mixed in here that are for my practice, but a lot of these are just things that I've picked up that seemed interesting. I don't honestly have a ton of thoughts, so I'm not going to go through every single one. I'll just kind of point out the ones that are high priority. I don't read a ton of nonfiction. I just occasionally pick it up when it sticks out to me. A lot of these have just been recommendations or things that I found at library sales or Goodwill. But I do want to read these two, The Upside of Being Down and Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, for some kind of guide at some point from a therapist to y'all, what kind of self-help books are worth it. I think that would be a really interesting video to film. And then this one is one that I'm really excited about. I love Nidra, Dr. Nidra on Instagram and TikTok. So I really want to get to her book, Drama Free. And Season with the Witch, I really want to spend some kind of fall at some point in Salem. And this is about spending Halloween in Salem, so I want to read it there. But the rest of those are just kind of general nonfiction. And I don't think I have a large viewership that reads nonfiction, so I'm not going to go over all of them. Over here, I have a couple like little tiny books, and I just like that they all fit together size-wise. So I stacked them all together, and they also are all like red orangey, so I thought they looked good together. And then down here, one of these, the Anna Green Gables, and then the Molly Moon, The Click, and Saving CC Honeycutt. I originally got these to do a reading vlog of books from my childhood, but that just never came to fruition because I got into a massive slump. Below my nonfiction shelf, I have all of my fantasy and fantasy adjacent, which as you can see is not too much because I just don't have much. I don't read a ton of fantasy, but occasionally I hear of a rec that I would like to read. So here are the ones that I have that fall into that category, along with Bevo over here, Hookem. All right, so I have S, which I've attempted to read a couple times and it just hasn't worked out for me. We Are the Light by Matthew Quick, Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghost, Age of Vice, Firekeeper's Daughter, which I actually do want to read that one a lot. The Celestine Prophecy, Ariadne, These Violent Delights, and A Foul Lady Fortune, both by Chloe Gong. Circe by Madeline Miller, which I've heard amazing things about. Wayward by Amelia Hart. The Once and Future Witches, and A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Y'all know I am not a fantasy girly, but if any of these are your like die-hard favorites, please let me know so I can prioritize them, because honestly, just looking at this, I'm already overwhelmed. Like, I know nothing about fantasy whatsoever. All right, one shelf down, moving over here, we have horror and thrillers, and then romance at the very bottom. So let's go ahead and start with the first horror shelf. All right, not all of these are strictly horror. I have some in there that just like give spooky vibes, but for the most part, it's horror. Starting over here with my Chuck Palahniuk's that I still need to read, I have, I don't remember what this one is called. Oh, Tell All. It's called Tell All. Then I have Lullaby, Survivor, and Diary. I have another Carmen Maria Machado, In the Dream House. I really want to get to this one. In the Miso Soup, Coraline, Human Remains, J.K. Ellam's Mill Point Road. This is the first book in a series. Roanoke Girls by Amy Engel, which I've heard amazing things about. Then I have a few Stephen King's sprinkled in here. Ideally, I would like them to be together. Again, I need to reorganize. I have Dolores Claiborne later, and then Misery over here. Then I have The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce, Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison, The Change by Kirsten Miller, Secluded Cabin Keeps 6 by Lisa Unger, which is really more of a thriller, but it gives like isolated horror vibes, so I put it up here. I have The Book of Accidents, Apart in the Dark by Anya Alborn, The Chill, The Ghost Tree, and We Ride Upon Sticks. And then Cackle over at the end, which ideally I would want to put with the other Rachel Harrison. Maybe I should do a whole video of reorganizing my bookshelves. Would y'all like to see that? I'm only making this video because y'all said you would like to see it. So if you want to see a reorganization video, let me know and I will make that one as well. Coming down to the next shelf, this is kind of a mix between horror and thriller. It's kind of like the catch-all shelf between the strictly horror, strictly thriller. So I have some Polaroids over here of me and my mom and me and Cam. And then in the front, I have Devil House. I just absolutely love this cover. That's why I wanted to display it in the front. And then starting at this end, I have Reprieve by James Hahn Matson, which I really want to read. I did it in a try a chapter video and I loved it. I just haven't picked it up since. But I have a Karen White next to that, and then this duology by Elaine Murphy, Tiny Nightmares, which is a short horror story collection, along with another short horror story collection, These Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark 3. I have the other two on my red shelf. I just love these for nostalgia. I also have Bathhouse, which I started in that same video with Reprieve. I just need to pick it back up again because I remember really loving the first chapter of that one as well. A Simple Plan by Scott Smith. This one, which doesn't say the name of it on the spine, but it's Dead Leaves by Keelan Patrick Burke. This is going to be great for the fall. There He Kept Her by Joshua Moling. A History of Fear by Luke Dumas. One Last Secret by Adele Parks. Now we're getting into thriller territory here, and most of these are going to be paperback thrillers with a couple horror mixed in. The Last Flight by Julie Clark. Marrow by Taryn Fisher. This is one of her early ones. I really want to get to that. We Lie Here, When I Was 10, Reconstructing Amelia, Miracle Creek, The Whisper Network, Beautiful Bad by Annie Ward, Nana by Brandon Massey. This is more horror. The Wife by Alistair Burke, Stranger in the Lake, and Her Last Move by My King, she said sarcastically, John Mars. And then a Karen Slaughter down here at the end, Broken. I believe this is one of only a couple Karen Slaughters that I have unread on my shelves because I have a whole dedicated shelf to Miss Karen over there. The next shelf down is kind of all over the place. So it started out as just hardcover thrillers that I have not read yet. But then I started my Fear Street collection and there was just no nice place to display these teeny tiny little books. So I ended up stacking them in front of here. So here is my entire Fear Street collection and a couple of Goosebumps and Spine Shivers that is unread. So I have another section in my read shelves, but this is all the Fear Street that I've yet to read. Most of these are first edition, first printings, which I'm very proud of. But let me move these out of the way and get into the thrillers in the back. So up top here, the ones that don't fit perfectly are The Retreat by Sarah Pierce, which again, I do need to reorganize because that should go next to The Sanatorium. The Sleeping Doll by Jeffrey Deaver and Providence by Caroline Kepnes. And then over here we have Mine by Jael Butler. This is like dark romance legal thriller vibes. The Lion's Den by Catherine St. John, which is rich people drama. A Nearly Normal Family and The Neighbor's Secret are kind of family drama. The Last Time I Saw You, I Live Constantine, 56 Days, The Family Game, Grave Reservations, Who is Maud Dixon, The Lies We Told, Last Seen Alive, You're Invited, The Other Mrs. Miller, Hidden Things, The Lies I Tell, Friend Request, The Sundown Motel, Dark Roads by Chevy Stevens, and then Killers of a Certain Age on the end. So these are most of the unread hardback thrillers that I have on my shelves. If there's anything screaming out to you that's like, oh my God, I can't believe Hailey has not read that, please comment down below and I will prioritize it. The next shelf down, we are getting into the last of the thrillers here. I have the rest of my hardback thrillers that are unread and then paperback thrillers that are unread. Out in the front here, I have Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun because I really want to finish out this part of the series. It's out so far. And then starting with the hardbacks down here, I have Breathless, Other People's Houses, The Last Party, The Familiar Dark, The Lies You Told, Best Friends Forever, Everything We Didn't Say, Girl A, The Dry, The Other Black Girl, Best Day Ever, Into the Darkest Corner. And then here we have the other couple Karen Slaughters that I haven't read, The Last Widow and The Silent Wife. I believe both of these are part of the, what is that man? Will Trent, the Will Trent series. So I will take on that undertaking at some point. I also have Last Girl Ghosted, The Sister's Chase, Cross Her Heart, The Last Thing He Told Me, and Her Every Fear. And then up above, I have Nice Girls by Catherine Dang, The Husbands by Chandler Baker, Family Bones by Elle Marr, Do No Harm by Christina McDonald, The Maid by Nita Prose, Watch Me Disappear by Janelle Brown, Truth Be Told by Kia Abdullah, The Half-Sister by Sandy Jones, Those Girls and Still Missing by Chevy Stevens, Elisa Gardner, a few Leigh Moriartys, a Dean Koontz, and then a couple more Karen Slaughters that I have that are a part of the Will Trent series as well. And that's gonna do it for my unread thrillers on my physical TBR. The last section down here is romance, and it's probably the biggest section because, as you know, if you've been watching my channel this year, I have been in a massive romance slump. Last couple years that I've been on BookTube, I have read at least 2 or 3 romances a month, and I've been doing like maybe 1 romance every other month for all of 2023 and probably the latter half of 2022 as well. So I have a lot of romance to catch up on. We'll just start with this stack on top. I have, spoiler alert, I Hate You More, After I Do, Running Wild, Mr. Salary by Sally Rooney, and Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. In this stack, I have The Wedding Date, The Spanish Love Deception, The Sweet Spot, Icebreaker, the rest of this Tessa Bailey series, Meet You in the Middle, Mile High, The Dead Romantics, Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail, Radiant Sin, Love to Love You, which I've actually read 2 in there. I just have the last one in that Allie Hazelwood novella collection. The Most Likely Club, Adelaide, and Georgie All Along. Then there's actually a stack behind this one. Yeah, wow, I know. And in this stack, I have yours truly, Love in the Time of Serial Killers, It Starts With Us, Hang the Moon, Keep Her Safe, which is more of a dark romance, Pretending, One Night on the Island, which was a previous DNF, Happiness for Beginners, Twice Shy, The X Talk, The Rosie Project, You Deserve Each Other, Float Plan, Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead, which I actually really want to read, 99% Mine, Delilah Green Doesn't Care, Written in the Stars, and Magnolia Parks. Then the actual ones that I have stacked up nicely on this shelf is the Anna K duology, The Kiss Curse, Kiss Her Once for Me, The Heart Principle, this duology by Emily A. Myers, which is dark romance as well, The Chase by Elle Kennedy, Weather Girl, Island Time, That Summer, Funny You Should Ask, Maybe Not, which I got at the same time as Maybe Someday, and Heart Bones by Colleen Hoover at the very end. So again, same with the thrillers. If there are any in here that you cannot believe that I haven't read or that you think I would really, really love, please comment down below and keep me out of my romance slump. I do not want to go back into it now that I'm out of it. And by the way, the book that got me out of it was 7 Days in June, so highly recommend that one. But that is my unread books on my shelves. Every single unread book that I have on my shelves, besides what is on my TBR cart, which is a mess right now, and you literally can't see it because I have so much stuff for videos over there. So those are all of the books that I have unread on my shelves. Again, if you want to watch my full library tour, I will link it up above and down below. And please let me know if you want me to make a video reorganizing my bookshelves with y'all. I don't watch a lot of like cleaning organization content, but I know that's a thing on BookTube. Sometimes the like, you know, there's crossover there. So let me know if you would want to see that. Don't forget to go down below and check out the Dossier Originals Speakeasy collection. It is so cool. I'm so excited about this launch. Dossier does their inspiration perfumes really well, so I cannot wait to see more of their originals. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!